welcome to Crime in Court. My name is Heather, and we are diving into the next thing in this Sandra Birchmore story. Where I had left off with you last time was an update regarding Billy Farwell, and I had said that it hadn't been confirmed yet. I didn't have all the details, but it was in the works that Billy Farwell was going to voluntarily decertify. Billy Farwell is, of course, the twin brother of Matthew Farwell. Matthew Farwell is in federal custody for taking the life of Sandra Birchmore. It was first ruled that she had taken herself out, but the FBI's forensic pathologist and the family's independent forensic pathologist, Michael Baden, who is like world-renowned doctor of autopsies, he is the one that said that he also said that along with the FBI pathologist that this was not done at Sandra's hands, but it was done by the hands of someone else. So that means she did not take her own life, and someone else is responsible. Matthew Farwell is in custody for that now, but more details are starting to emerge regarding this case and the other Stoughton police officers that were involved in the grooming and essaying, CAing of this poor girl, Sandra Birchmore, who was 13 at the time when she joined the Post Commission or the Explorers Program, I'm sorry, when she joined the Explorers Program, which was a part of the Stoughton Police Department run by Robert Devine, William Farwell, Robert Devine ran it, and William Farwell and Matthew Farwell were instructors in the program. She started when she was 13, fully on board as a member by the time she was like 14, and then by the time she was 15, she was having intimate physical relationship with multiple men, potentially. First, we know Matthew Farwell took her virginity, so he groomed her specifically. And then we find out that she was also having relations with William Farwell and Robert Devine while they were working. Same with Matthew. All of them, stealing time from taxpayers to have relations with a young woman who they knew since she was a child, which I find very disturbing. And they had authority over her at one point. So it's yeah, it's not good. The very people you trust to protect you could be the ones that cause the injury, the crimes. All right, so I'm going to shrink myself here and let's get into what we're getting into, which is the decertification order of Matthew Farwell. William Farwell. So Matthew Farwell voluntarily decertified as part of some kind of an agreement, but that was well before he ever that was an agreement with the Stoughton Police Department to leave quietly, I guess. Um, but he was never charged in any criminal acts until the FBI came along several years later. Um, yeah, the crimes took place in 2021. Sandra lost her life February 1st, 2021, and William Farwell was just arrested, as we know, about a month or so ago, I think, right? Or it's been a little longer than a month. Time flies for me. I don't know. All right, so let's read this decertification order for Billy Farwell. As you can see, that's Billy on the screen. Cup no more. Disgraced Billy Farwell is decertified. And I believe that this came shortly thereafter because of the indictment of Matthew Farwell. So let's see, what does this decertification have to say? In the matter of William Farwell decertification order, the respondent William Farwell has entered into a voluntary decertification agreement under which He has agreed to the permanent revocation of his certification, also known as a decertification, as a law enforcement officer in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, beginning on the date of approval of the agreement by the Massachusetts Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission, and the entry of his decertification in the National Decertification Index. So, not only is he no longer able to be a cop in Massachusetts, but there's a national index that keeps record of cops that get decertified because they can't just go from one, they shouldn't be able to go from one jurisdiction to another. They should, there should be a better way of stopping that. But this is a good step in that direction. All right, so as further conditions of the agreement, the respondent has waived his rights to consent that this or any other administrative or judicial proceeding to which the commission is or may be a party, the factual allegations, conclusions of law, terms and conditions, and other provisions contained in the agreement. Accordingly, it is hereby ordered that for the reasons stated in the agreement, A, respondent's law enforcement decertification is hereby permanently revoked, never to be reinvoked or reinstated. B, the executive director shall characterize this action as a voluntary decertification. And C, the executive director shall take the necessary steps to publish the respondent's name in the NDI and any publicly available lists and database published by the commission. So erase him, take him off, let everybody know he is no longer able to be a cop. I read in my last episode on Sandra Birchmore that it was rumored to be that he was decertifying. I just didn't have all the details and everything yet. So now we're reading through it. And in that, it had also stated that he moved to Arizona and he's with the National Guard there. So that is apparently William Farwell's new home. So lucky Arizona. You guys can have them, I guess. Voluntary decertification agreement in the interest of resolving the above captioned matter and consistent with the public interest in laws and regulations governing the Massachusetts Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission, including MGLC 6E, 3A, 8 and 10, and 555 CMR, all those different things. The respondent, William Farwell, and the commission hereby enter into this voluntary decertification agreement. Factual allegations. Number 1, the respondent was employed as a police officer for Stoughton, Massachusetts from March 21st, 2017 until August 1st, 2022, when he resigned. So after word got out about Sandra and the relationships and the internal investigation happened due to Chief McNamara's request to start the internal investigation, they all resigned. Robert Devine, William Farwell, and Matthew Farwell all resigned. Part of Matthew Farwell's decertification was part of his resignation, I believe, was to decertify voluntarily as well. So he went through this process also with Post. I don't know if we have it or did we read through it already? I don't remember. We read through so many documents. All right, number 2. On July 1st, 2021, the respondent was automatically certified as a police officer in Massachusetts pursuant to ST 2020, I don't know, pursuant to a bunch of stuff. Throughout the time of the allegations described herein, the respondent was an active law enforcement officer employed by Stoughton Police Department. Although the respondent had not personally submitted an application, the commission had not submitted an application to the commission. On October 10th, 2020, the commission denied the Stoughton Police Department's application for renewal of the respondent's law enforcement certification. So the Post Commission, denied it, even though he had requested a renewal. According to the Stoughton Police Department's internal investigative report dated August 29th, 2022, it was alleged that the respondent misled Massachusetts State Police investigators about the extent of his relationship with Sandra Birchmore, a former member of the Stoughton Police Department Explorers Program, whom the respondent first met when she was a juvenile and he was a guest instructor in the program. Further, it was alleged that the respondent exchanged adult like text messages with Sandra Birchmore while on duty on several occasions at a time when she was an adult. So we know that these were happening when she was an adult, but he's on duty. Additionally, it was alleged that the respondent conducted several unauthorized searches of Criminal Justice Information Services, that's the CJIS databases, including querying himself and Sandra Birchmore without an official law enforcement purpose. That is a fireable offense right there. Number four, on November 22nd, 2022, pursuant to a bunch of codes, the Commission directed its Division of Police Standards Division to open a preliminary inquiry to investigate the above allegations against the respondent. 5. Sandra Birchmore participated in the Stoughton Police Department Explorers program beginning in 2010. When she was 13 years old, Sandra Birchmore remained in the program until 2016 when she graduated from high school. Sandra Birchmore first met the respondent through the Police Explorers program in 2011 when he was a guest instructor in the program and Sandra Birchmore, was 14 or 15 years old. The division has no information that the respondent engaged in any inappropriate or adult physical contact with Sandra Birchmore at any time when she was a minor. So there is no evidence to support that their relationship started under the age of, well, 16 is actually, so I wonder, because uh the age of consent in Massachusetts is 16. I wonder if their relation started at that time. I don't know if it says. Oh, hold on one second. Sorry, my dogs were about to be loud. All right, number 6. From 2017 through 2021, the respondent is alleged to have conducted approximately 26 unauthorized searches of CJIS databases. On 2 occasions in 2019, the respondent purportedly queried CJIS information on Sandra Birchmore, despite having no official law enforcement purpose for doing so. So he was just being nosy, which is a no-no. On approximately 24 separate occasions, the respondent allegedly conducted CJIS queries on himself without any official law enforcement purpose. Pretty sure that is also a big no-no. Number 7, on multiple occasions in 2020, the respondent allegedly exchanged adult-like text messages of a graphic nature with Sandra Birchmore, including photographs and videos of nude individuals and individuals having adult relations. The graphic text messages date back to April 2020 and were exchanged through December 2020. How old was she then? At the time of the text messages, Sandra Birchmore was approximately 22 years old. Okay, so she was an adult at this time. What I was going to say was, I wonder if their relations started by the time she was 16 because the age of consent is 16 there. So I wonder if she was, 16, so technically they can't get him on a minor, being with a minor, but maybe it might have even started as early as then. But these are showing that she was 22. So I can't confirm that he was with her. There is no proof that he ever was with her when she was a minor. So several of these graphic messages were purportedly sent on dates and times when the respondent was on duty as a police officer. Again, they are using their tax-paying dollars that pay their salaries to have these conversations of an adult nature with Sandra Birchmore, and they eventually meet up and have physical relations with her as well. 8. On February 4th, 2021, Canton police officers responded to Sandra Birchmore's apartment for a wellness check. They discovered that she had lost her life. 9. When interviewed on February 11th, 2021, so a few days later, pursuant to the Mass State Police Police's investigation of Sandra Birchmore's loss of life, the respondent allegedly admitted that he had a physical, intimate relationship with Sandra Birchmore for about 2 years while Sandra Birchmore was an adult, and that in 2020 he had 2 or 3 encounters with her. The respondent allegedly reported that the last time he and her were together was sometime in December 2020, when Sandra Birchmore told the respondent that she was pregnant with his twin brother's baby. So there's that. Twin brothers sharing everything, I guess. It's disgusting. We do know, or at least there have been reports that Sandra Birchmore had been passed around by a bunch of different guys. A lot of that possibly maybe directed by Matthew Farwell. So he may have been trafficking her, potentially. All right, number 10. It is alleged that text messages between Sandra Birchmore and the respondent indicate that the two met for a physical encounter in the parking lot of her apartment building on January 10th, which is inconsistent with the respondent's alleged statement to the Mass State Police. So he lied. He lied to Mass State Police in the investigation of Sandra Birchmore's loss of life, which is no good. So he definitely lied to law enforcement, which would probably be some kind of obstruction of justice type of charge if he were to be charged with anything. And they're probably using that against him to make him talk, if I were to guess. So, applicable law pursuant to whatever code that is, the commission shall have all powers necessary or convenient to carry out and effectuate its purposes, including but not limited to the power to 1. Act as the primary civil enforcement agency for violations of Chapter 6E, or deny any application or limit, condition, restrict, revoke, or suspend a certification, or fine a person certified for any cause that the commission deems reasonable. Restrict, suspend, or revoke certifications issued under Chapter 6E and conduct adjudicatory proceedings in accordance with Chapter 30A. All right, so 12. Pursuant to some more codes, the Commission may, after a hearing, suspend or revoke an officer's certification if the Commission finds by clear and convincing evidence that the officer has a pattern of unprofessional police conduct that the Commission believes may escalate. So that's a concern that his nefarious acts might escalate into more. Pursuant to some more codes, the Commission shall publish any revocation order and findings. The Commission shall provide all revocation information to the National Decertification Index. So, whatever reasons why you were decertified, that goes in the index in your file, and everybody will know it if you try to get a job at another police station or whatever, in law enforcement again. So no officer may apply for certification after that officer's certification has been revoked pursuant to this section. So once it's done, it's done. Number 14, pursuant to some more codes, the Commission may institute a disciplinary hearing after an officer's appointing agency has issued a final disposition, the alleged misconduct, or hold on, my dog's loud. Sorry, he's loud toes on the hardwood floor. All right, so the Commission may institute a disciplinary hearing after an officer's appointing agency has issued a final disposition, the alleged misconduct, or 1 year has elapsed since the allegations were reported to the commission, whichever is sooner. Number 15, unless otherwise provided by law, agencies may make informal disposition of any adjudicatory proceeding by stipulation, agreed, settlement, consent, order, or default. Number 16, the respondent's alleged conduct described above is proven by clear and convincing evidence, would constitute a pattern of police misconduct that may escalate and would justify discipline against the respondent pursuant to some code. So there's the discipline that they're probably waving over him saying, you need to cooperate and go quietly, or we're going to press some charges here. Resolution. In view of the foregoing alleged violation, the Commission has determined that the public interest would best be served by the disposition of this matter without further enforcement proceedings on the basis of the following terms and conditions which have been agreed to by the respondent. Number 17, the respondent agrees that if this matter were to proceed to an adjudicatory hearing, the allegations described above, if proven by clear and convincing evidence, would permit the Commission to impose significant discipline up to and including his decertification as a law enforcement officer in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Number 18, the respondent, without admitting the truth of the above allegations made against him, agrees to the permanent revocation of his law enforcement officer. So he's not talking without admitting the truth. He is not giving up information right now, or at least not on himself, anyways. He's staying quiet about his own crimes, but maybe he might flip on his brother. Who knows? 19. The respondent voluntarily waives any right he may have to appeal, upgrade, or otherwise challenge his current status of not certified, including but not limited to any appeal or challenge to the October 10th, 2020 decision of the Commission denying the Stoughton Police Department's application for renewal of the respondent's law enforcement certification. So they had requested back in October 2022, the Stoughton Police Department applied for his renewal, and the post commission said not certified. So he didn't go willingly. Stoughton was going to keep him on apparently because they wanted to renew his certification. So that's news. And yeah, so he was, remember I said there's certified, not certified, and decertified. So his status went to not certified when they looked into this after they asked for his renewal. Number 20, the respondent waives, and he's waiving his rights to appeal this because that's what he was in the process of, was appealing the not certified decision. So he had been and I believe we listened to one of his hearings on this channel regarding his appeal for the certification because he requested a bunch of discovery from the AG's office, I believe it was, something along those lines. So we did watch one of his hearings. But now he's waiving his right to appeal, so he can't, and we won't have any more hearings on that. 20, the respondent waives all rights to contest the factual allegations, conclusions of law, terms and conditions, or other provisions contained in this agreement in any administrative or judicial forum to which the commission is or may be a party. So they, again, Billy Farwell can't contest anything in here. So he's signing basically to agree that this is true. And if he ever were to come back and say, nah, that wasn't, I wasn't in my right mind signing that or whatever, he's waived his right. So the respondent acknowledges that once this agreement and any order of suspension issued by the post commission are executed, they will be public documents and will be published on the commission's website. So these documents are public. Furthermore, the status of the respondent's certification will be publicly available on certain lists and databases published by the Commission. Number 22, the respondent understands and acknowledges that as required under MGL, bunch of codes, the Commission will submit all revocation information, including a copy of this agreement and any order of decertification for inclusion in the National Decertification Index. Number 23, finally, the agreement shall be effective as of the date it is approved by the Commission. And it was signed by the chair on 9/24. So he was going through the process on the 6th, because that's when he signed it. So it took a few weeks to get through get through post and everything. They had a closed door hearing on this, which came to this conclusion afterwards. So he is William Farwell, no longer able to be employed as any type of law enforcement going forward in the United States. Matthew Farwell, same. He can't be a cop anymore, and he's never going to see the light of day, so that's good. Robert Devine is next. 2 down, 1 to go. I mean, it would be better if William Farwell did some time for some crime, if, there was some crime involved, which I think there might be some charges coming his way, maybe, if he doesn't, I don't know, maybe. Maybe signing this was to eliminate charges. We'll see. It's yet to be determined. He could not necessarily charges that would put him away behind bars, but there might be some charges that he could have been facing here due to some misconduct. And also wanted to bring to your attention, and I don't know if I should play it or not because people get struck whenever they play law and crime streams on their channel, but I was watching a stream recently, and there is more information now about Josh Heel as well, who potentially was having relations and conversations with her maybe when she was a minor. So we don't know. I don't know all the details yet, and I don't want to spread that rumor necessarily if it's not true. So don't take my word on that. But I'll be looking more into the Josh Heel aspect of this because there might be an angle there to look into regarding Josh Heel and his involvement when it began type of thing. So we know now William Farwell, there's no proof to tie him to her being a minor when their adult relations started, but there is with Matthew Farwell. So hopefully they charge him for the taking of his baby's life, and also so maybe some more charges on the grooming and the CASA type stuff, because really he only has one charge, which is taking the life of a witness or a victim, right? Victim or a witness. That was the charge that they used, which leaves it open for more charges. So I'm hoping we'll see more charges for Matthew Farwell. But will we see any charges for William Farwell or Robert Devine for Josh Heel? Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think maybe next to be arrested in this whole Massachusetts debacle and everything? So let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Please make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any Sandra Birchmore episodes, and please hit that like button on your way out for me. Thanks so much. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.